All right, coaches, thanks for jumping on today. My name is Jason Mohns. I'm the head football coach at Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona. And in this session, I'm going to talk about our jailbreak screens and then how we package those jailbreak screens with some of our quick game and running back screens to create some options for our quarterback. If you have any questions as we go along, don't hesitate to insert a comment in the chat bar. After the session's over, if there's anything I can do to help you, my email is here, jmonds@susd.org. Very active on Twitter. So if you're there, make sure you follow me. I'll follow you back. And if you have any questions, you can DM me at Coach Mohns, Mohns. And then pretty active on Coach. We've got quite a few courses up there. And so if you like this and you want to check out some more of my stuff, make sure you check me out on there. So let me jump in here and get going. Won't spend any time talking about our program. This is the only slide that I'm going to have, just so you have a little background on Saguaro High School and where we play and how it operates. So we were lucky enough from 2013 to 2018 to win 6 consecutive state championships out here in Arizona. We are a 4A enrollment public school. We have about 1,400 students. 6A is the largest division in Arizona. So between 2013 and 2018, I think we won 4 of the 6 championships at the 4A level. 2 of them were at the 5A level. And then starting in 2019, our state association created what they call the open division for the state playoffs. So now the top 8 teams, regardless of classification, get pulled into a separate playoff bracket. In 2019, we finished as the state runner-up. We tried to win our 7th in a row. We lost by a touchdown to Chandler High School, one of the best programs in the country, one of the other top programs in Arizona. And then last year, this COVID season of 2020, we qualified for the open division playoffs again as the number 3 seed. And the day before our first playoff game, we got put into quarantine and had to forfeit and end our season. So for the first time in 8 years this year, we didn't play for a state championship. It was out of our control. And now we're just back in the weight room and working hard to try to get back in the mix and try to win another one. So just a little bit about our program. And I'll be the first one to tell you, we've had this success because we have tremendous players. We've been blessed to have some incredible athletes that have come through this program. And I've got a great coaching staff, guys that are dedicated and committed, and try to put our players in good position. But at the end of the day, we've won at a high level for a long time because we've been blessed with some talented players. So let's jump in and talk a little bit about our jailbreak screens, why we run them, why they're important, and kind of what we get out of them. So just to start, I mean, ultimately, offensively, our goal is to get the ball to our athletes in space. And I think there's a misconception when you talk about athletes in space is that it's like perimeter game. And obviously the jailbreak is getting the ball out on the perimeter and getting some hats in front of your guys. But for us, athletes in space just means trying to create situations where we get the ball to our playmakers and we either give them grass, whether it's in the perimeter or it's downfield because of the coverage looks we're getting, or in the run game, if we can force defenses to have to walk linebackers out of the box and to play split safety look, and we can hand the ball off with a hat for a hat. That to us is getting the ball to athlete in space. If we can put a helmet on a helmet and hand the ball off to our tailback, that's a good situation. We always want to guarantee touches for our dude, or if you're blessed to have a couple guys, your dudes. We actually script on my offensive game plan. I have a scripted section called our dude script, which is typically 2 to 3 guys that we want to ensure ways of getting in the ball. And so if I've got a talented X receiver, I don't want to rely on having to throw the ball to him downfield. They could press him, double cover him, do things like that. So I want to have some ways that I can guarantee he touches the ball. I think jailbreak screens are a great way to do that. We have some very simple rules for and landmarks for our offensive line that we use. We keep it consistent. So in our screen game, we have our jailbreak tunnel screens, and then we also have our run action tunnel screens. So some of you guys that may have seen some of my other courses that I've done may have seen my run action tunnel screen. And we really use the same landmarks, and we just use a run action, whether it's outside zone or it's our power, one back power or power read. And we use the exact same landmarks: sidewalk, log, alley, and rat kill. And so I'll go into those, what those landmarks look like. But it keeps it consistent for our O-line because we use those landmarks and those tracks for several screens in our offense. I think the jailbreak screen is a high reward and a low risk throw for your quarterback. So if you want to keep the defense off balance, you want to make sure you're throwing the ball around a little bit, but maybe you don't have a great offensive line, you don't want to throw your drop back pass game, or you're getting man and you can't take the little gift routes. I think it's a good way to get the ball to your quarterback's hands, and it's a low risk type play. High percentage throw, and it can result in some explosive plays. It's, our jailbreak screens last year, I think we averaged 23 yards per time we called it. So I should have called it more. We didn't do it enough when we went back and studied ourselves. So it's definitely an explosive play in our offense. We use the same wide receiver path on jailbreak as we do on our run action. So we call that our tunnel path. And I'll get into it more specifically, but our tunnel path is what we call 1, 2, 3 retrace. 3 steps upfield. That third step starts the breakdown. We want to retrace straight back down that line, slow and controlled down the line of scrimmage. So just trying to emphasize that we use that same path for multiple concepts. And then really what this presentation is about is how we package it with other concepts. Because I think most guys are running some form of jailbreak screen. I think what makes what we do unique is how we package it together. So we can package it with our double screens to the running back or in our perimeter wide receiver key screen game. And we can also add some quick game tags to it as well. So let me dive into our base jailbreak screen rules. So this right here, we don't, very rarely do we, I shouldn't say we don't call it, but very rarely do we call just straight jailbreak screen without anything attached. If we do, our wide receivers opposite the screen, their rule is just to run their 4 vertical game. All right, so we're just going to release vertical, try to get defenders to open up outside away. And then once that ball is away and we see the defense react, we're just going to try to cut guys off. So we're selling 4 verticals away. Our running back is just going to swing opposite the screen. So that's kind of the rules. If they're not involved in the jailbreak screen, that's their rules. Okay. So in this case, we call this our RAM screen. So we're running X RAM odd. We use odd and even for left and right. So X RAM odd would mean X jailbreak screen to the left. So that's where we start with our 1, 2, 3 retrace rules. So we're going 1, 2, 3 up the field, retrace back to line of scrimmage, slow and controlled, and we want to allow the quarterback to throw us vertically upfield. Okay. So that's his base rules for our X receiver. If we have a 2 receiver side, we're always going to ask the number 2 receiver to do what we call push kick the man over 1 unless he's responsible or unless he's the screen player. Okay. But in this case, we're running to a single receiver. Now, offensive line rules. All right. We start with the play side offensive tackle. We always tell him to count how many receivers are outside of him, and he's responsible for the man over that number of receivers. So this case, there's 1 receiver. So we tell him he's responsible for the man over 1. He's got what we call the sidewalk. So his landmark is the sidewalk. Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to use our 6-man or 5-man half slide principles. Okay. So we're going to pass set. We're going to open up high hat, show our hands 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. We're going to influence the defensive end upfield. We want to kind of club and influence him upfield, try to use his momentum against him and get him chasing the quarterback a little bit. We're going to come flat and we want to go inside out on the man over 1. This corner is going to trigger as soon as this guy sinks on his 3rd step and starts to back down the line of scrimmage. This corner is going to trigger. So we want to make sure that we don't chase too far upfield and let him beat us back underneath. We want to make sure we come out high hat, show our hands 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, influence that end upfield. We want to come out flat as this corner triggers. We want to make sure that we fit our hat upfield. Do not let this guy beat you back over the top of your face. All right. If he's going to beat you, he needs to try to run around you underneath. Okay. So that tackles block, again, we call the sidewalk. All right. He's going to try to run this guy and kick him out. Okay. The next block, play side guard, same thing. We're going to communicate on our half slide rules. So he's going to set high hat 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. He would sell like we're working that 1 shade with the center. We're going to come out flat for 5. We tell him flat for 5. His rule is to log the play side inside linebacker. Okay. And when we talk about inside linebacker, we're talking about in that tackle box. All right. We're not going to chase a guy that's an overhang. We want to work inside the tackle box. He's going to log that play side linebacker. What's important on this one is that if he doesn't come out, if he doesn't stay flat and he starts chasing upfield too soon, this linebacker is going to be more athletic than him at the second level, and he will out leverage him and cause us issues. So it's really important that we emphasize flat for 5. We have to gain leverage on that linebacker before we turn the corner and log. We want to pin that guy down inside. Okay. So that's our log. So now we have sidewalk from the play side tackle. We have log from the play side guard. Our next landmark is our alley. Okay. Our center is going to set high hat, show our hands. We're using our half slide principles. We want to influence this 1 shade upfield. All right. We're going to club, rip and by. I'm going to come out flat for 5. As soon as I see the play side guard turn the corner to log, I'm going to tight turn right off of his butt. I'm going to scan inside and then up to the alley. So we call him the alley, but we never want to run by a second level defender for the third level. So if this guy sniffs it out and he's a threat, then we're going to always peel and block the second level and we'll leave the third level. All right. If this guy chases or tries to wall the number 3, I'm going to tight turn off the log. I see that he's not a threat. I'm going to continue on to the alley. So now we have sidewalk from the tackle. We have log from the play side guard. We have alley from the center. And then our final landmark right here is what we call our rat kill. Our backside guard is going to set, hi-hat, show his hands, influence the 3 tech upfield. And then he's going to just run a little loose circle block. And the first down lineman that sniffs this thing out, tries to put his foot in the ground and retrace, we want to cut him off. The thing that's important to emphasize on the rat kill is that it can't be an ear hole block anymore. So back in the good old days, when that guy turned the corner to try to retrace, you could knock the snot out of his nose. Now you got to make sure that you're leading with your hands. So it doesn't have to be as much of a kill shot as it just does. You need to cut that guy off, set a screen, slow him down so he can't chase this play down from behind. We just have to slow him down. All right. And then our opposite backside tackle, he's just locked in pass pro. All right. Don't let this guy beat you across your face. So heavy set inside, force this guy upfield, and we can just run him. Okay. And so that's our base rules. Quarterback, we're going to take a 3-step, 1, 2, 3. We're going to look off 4 verticals. That third step is going to kind of start my dropout. So I want to kind of open 1, 2, 3. My third step starts my dropout, get my shoulder squared, and I want to be able to retreat. So you'll see on some of these clips where the quarterback wants to take a 3-step drop, plant his foot and throw the jailbreak. That's a bad idea. These guys up front aren't being blocked. So if you want to plant your foot and step into your throw, it's a good way to get your knee blown out. So we always tell them 1, 2, 3, and then start that bailout. We always have to be able to change our arm angle. So depending on the pressure that we get in front of our face, we have to be a little bit creative. So we always work on that. That retreat step and that arm angle with our quarterback is really important. So here's a look, and I'm gonna, if you guys give me one quick second, I got coached up on how to do this right at the beginning, and I didn't do it all. I guess I'm still optimized, so we're good. I wanted to make sure I was optimizing my screen for you guys. I apologize for jumping off there. I just log out of this whole. Am I still on? I hope I'm still on. All right, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I want to make sure my video is good. So here we go. We're running jailbreak screen on the bottom of the screen. Now, in this case right here, we emptied our running back out. So here's our running back on the bottom of the screen. He's going to run that tunnel path. So again, we talk about 1, 2, 3. The third step's going to start his motor down, and we want to retrace right back down the line. The reason why that's important, guys, is because if he goes 1, 2, 3, and he goes straight back to the ball, he's really cutting off the angle for the tackle and the number 2 in this case, okay? So remember what we said. If we're throwing this to a number 1, the number 2's job is to push, kick the man over 1. That push is really important because, again, if he goes straight, if we get any kind of press look and he goes straight there, this guy's going to get in his hip pocket and he's going to make it a really difficult block for the play side tackle, okay? So we want to push vertical to kick the man over 1. The tackle, this tackle right here, he's the sidewalk. Again, he's going to count how many receivers are outside of the play side. He sees 1, 2, so now he knows he's responsible for setting the sidewalk on the man over 2, okay? Play side guard has the log. He's going to set 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. We want to come out flat for 5. He's going to log the play side inside linebacker. Our center, he's going to hi-hat 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. He's going to come flat for 5. As soon as I see the log turn, I'm going to tight turn off his butt, scan inside to the alley, backside guard, hi-hat 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, set the rat kill, okay? So we can kind of watch this thing run. Now you'll see these guys right here mug the number 2 receiver, okay? And so they were probably coached up on when he goes to push kick, just hold the crap out of him. So he ends up pulling that guy off the man over 1. He kind of ends up, in that case, blocking himself. Now, that man over 1 shows, and our tackle smart, we never let an ugly jersey cross our face. So this guy becomes the first threat. We're going to set the sidewalk on him. You'll see this is really good. We want to set that hat inside. If this guy's going to make me miss, he has to try to run around me. So we do a pretty good job of setting the sidewalk. The problem is we don't keep our hat inside. So we let that guy come back off. We don't want to do that, okay? So again, you see the number 2 receiver gets mugged here. The left tackle, he does a good job of setting the sidewalk. Now let's go left guard. Left guard sees the linebacker steps up. he kind of loses them. So as he comes out and he tries to come flat, this guy's tight to the line of scrimmage. He tries to peel back a little too late, and that guy makes a good play running underneath him. So you can see right there, we don't do a good job of securing the log. If we secured this log, we would have been in better shape, okay? We would have been in better shape. Now we'll watch the center. The center is going to tight turn off the log. We always want to scan inside. So his eyes, I should see his head snap around. We should always scan inside to the alley. Now, in this case, he's got to make a decision. If he doesn't feel that inside backer is a threat, he's going to continue to the next level to the alley. So that's what he did. And you can see a lot of times these big bodies get out in space and then they don't block anybody. All right. But sometimes that's all we want to do is put those big hats out in front of him. And then the last block here is our right guard. He's running the rat kill. Again, I think when the play side guard gets kind of held up, he kind of almost picks off our rat kill. And so it kind of throws him off. The thing we tell our rat kill is if this play goes by and you didn't have a chance to affect anybody, just go and run and find work. Okay. So stay in the play, find work. If the ball ends up downfield, you'll see some other examples later where we find that. Okay. So I'll run it one time from the start all the way through. All right. This is just our base jailbreak screen. And you can see our quarterback right here. All right. Watch him do 1, 2, 3 and start that retreat. 1, 2, 3 retreat and throw this ball falling away. Don't step and plant into the throw. All right. Even though we didn't execute that beautifully, it was still an 11-yard gain. So we'll take it. Okay. Now this one right here shows you how we start packaging some of our screens. So that one right there was our base jailbreak. The only thing called was jailbreak, and that's great, but we want to always give our quarterback options. We're a big RPO team. And so if I've got a running quarterback, then we're going to zone read, power read, GT read the first level, and add some RPOs in. If I don't have a dual threat running quarterback, we're going to put all of our option game at the second and third level with our RPOs. So we always want to create options for our quarterback. We never want to come up, or very rarely do we want to come up and have one play called that we're locked into. We want to be able to get out of a bad look. So this right here, we're going to package our what we call our key screens, our bubble screen, in this case to our running back. That would be a key 4 for us. We're going to run opposite the tunnel. Okay. We're going to tell our quarterback to read the mic. So if that mic pushes out with the bubble screen, now we have leverage to come back and throw the tunnel. Okay. If he stays in the box, now we can get numbers, grass, or leverage on the perimeter. We're going to throw the screen. So we just teach our quarterback in our perimeter screen game. There's 3 things that we're looking for. Numbers. If we have numbers, if we have 3-on-2 or 4-on-3, we like it. If we have grass, which means they might be able to match us 3 for 3, but that safety's coming from depth. There's a lot of grass. All right. We'll take that. Or if we have leverage. All right. If we have guys where we can pin guys and we can get that ball where we want to get it because of their alignment. If we have them out leverage, we'll take that. So we're really looking for any of those 3 things: numbers, grass, or leverage. If any of those 3 things looks really attractive, then we'll take that key screen. Okay. If it doesn't, we'll come off of it and we'll come back to the tunnel. In this case, we're throwing the tunnel screen to the 2 receiver side, that jailbreak screen. So like we talked about before, now in this case, the number 2 is going to push, kick the man over 1. Again, that push is important because we want to force this guy to hold and open up to wall before he can trigger the screen. If I just go straight here right now, he's going to get in my hip and it's going to make it a really tight block for that tackle. And you'll see an example of that coming up. Okay. So number 2, push, kick. Number 1, he's the tunnel guy. 1, 2, 3 starts my breakdown, retrace right down the line, slow and control down the line of scrimmage, let the quarterback throw me up. The number 1 receiver has to know that when we're running tunnel to a 2 receiver side, that sidewalk happens a little bit further inside from the tackle. Again, that tackle's blocking man over 2. So he's going to hi-hat, show hands. He's going to come out and he's going to set the sidewalk on the man over 2, which is this overhang linebacker. So when he triggers, we're setting the sidewalk over him. So this ball is going to tunnel further inside before I can get back out, hash mark numbers sideline, which is our path after we catch that ball that we want. Okay. So again, tackle counts 1, 2, set the sidewalk on the man over 2. Left guard, he has the play side log. Flat for 5. Once I have leverage, turn it, and I'm going to log the play side inside linebacker. My center has the alley, hi-hat 1 1002, throw by, tight turn as soon as we set the log, scan inside, up to alley. All right. Right guard, rat kill, hi-hat, show hands, loose circle block, cut off the first guy that sniffs it out, backside tackle's locked. Okay. Quarterback's reading the mic. So that's how we package it with a key screen or bubble screen to our running back. Okay. So in this case, we're throwing the tunnel screen to our field number 1. All right. We always want our number 2 to be 5 to 7 yards from the tackle. If he gets too much further than that, it's too far for the tackle to go to set the sidewalk. Okay. So you can run this to a 2 receiver side of the field. We just have to keep that number 2 within 5 to 7 yards from the tackle. Okay. So number 2, push, kick the man over 1, tackle, set, sidewalk over the man over 2, guard, log the play side backer, center, alley. All right. Backside guard, rat kill. All right. Backside tackle, you're locked. These guys right here blocking most dangerous man to the bubble screen. We're sending fast motion. We call this rock or roll. So when we call it our R, our tailback is our R. If we send them to the right, it's rock motion. We send them to the left, it's roll motion. So this is rock. Okay. Quarterback's reading the mic. What does the mic do? He buzzes out to chase the key screen to the running back. So we're going to come off of that and throw the tunnel. Okay. Now this is one of those examples. Don't plant and step into your throw. You need to retreat so you don't absorb that hit. All right. We want to catch that as we're retreating so we don't absorb the full force of that hit. Okay. So here, let's look at the path of our offensive lineman. I'll show you this from the end zone. Tackle's coming out, set the sidewalk, got the log, rat kill, alley. There's our big 380 pounder running downfield. You can see our rat kill gets back in the mix here, and number 73 was our rat kill. So he stays in the play and finishes at the end. Okay. Show you this from the end zone view. Okay. We don't really have an edge threat. So we're just going to set. He's coming out, set the sidewalk, man over 2, 55, set, flat. We want to log the play side backer, center, set the nose. All right. Don't get caught up in there. We're coming out and tight turn, run the alley, backside guard, rat kill. If there's nobody there, stay in and get involved in the play. Okay. And I just want to see my quarterback go 1, 2, retreat. Don't plant and throw. Okay. And he was our tight end slash quarterback that kind of alternated with other guys. So didn't get quite as many reps doing that as we'd like him to. Okay. Same look right here. All right. We're throwing this to the boundary. Okay. So again, we're going to fast motion. This is our roll motion. Back's coming out, look it off, retreat. Want to put a little bit more on this throw. All right. But because he sees the mic kind of tamper and open up away, we're going to come back and throw this tunnel to the boundary. Push kick the man over 1. We want to set the sidewalk on the man over 2. We want to log play side inside backer, and then we want to get our alley. Okay. So we just don't do a good job of finishing blocks. I still think we score here. They might mark us short, but we just got to do a better job of finishing blocks. Go find work. But again, sometimes these things, we don't really block the guy we want to downfield, but when you can put big bodies out in front of your athletes and let your athletes go to work, you're gonna make explosive plays happen. Okay, now we're throwing the tunnel screen to the field to the 3 receivers. And let me look. I might have a question here in the chat. Let me try to follow up. 4-1 box. Play side guard would be logging. The key is that not correct. 4-1 box. Yeah. So really, if we get a 4-1 box, we're gonna look at that mic. So yes, yeah, we would be logging the guy we're reading. So if he kind of opens up, we turn. If that guy's totally out of the picture, then we'll just climb. All right. So that's a good question, Coach. In that case, we're going to have numbers. That ball is going to be at the 3rd level pretty quick. But yes, we would log that Mike backer if the Sam is walked out of the box. Good question. Okay. So now we're running tunnel screen to the 3 receiver side. We're running it to the number 2. So again, play side tackle is our right tackle. He's going to count 1, 2, 3. So he's going to set the sidewalk on the man over 3. When you get this mini palms look or whatever, where they're locking the 1 and they're playing cover 2 off the 2 and 3, then we're going to get a push kick over this. We're going to treat this safety as the man over 3. So as we come out and this guy wants to come down and trigger, we'll end up setting the sidewalk off of him, off the man over 3. We tell our number 1 receiver, if you have man eyes, you're responsible for the man over 1. So you're responsible for the man over you. If you have man eyes, outside release and run it. Okay. If you have zone eyes, then it's a keep block. So we want to go get inside leverage and keep him outside. Okay. So if we get man eyes, outside release, turn and run him away. So he does a good job right there. Okay. Number 3 receiver, push, kick the man over 2. Don't let him beat you over the top. Tackle. All right. You're going to take man over 3, but never let an ugly jersey cross your face. So that's the play side back. So even though that's our log guy, when he crosses the face, we should take that right now. All right. Now the log should continue to the alley. Okay. So we should do a good job of just exchanging right there on what we're doing. Again, sometimes it's just a matter of getting jerseys out in front of your skill players and letting them find work. Okay. You can see our rat killer here. he doesn't really affect much. He's just going to look to slow somebody down, okay, and get them off their path. So that's a 4th and 7 call right there, and we get a big gain. Okay, to the boundary, all we're reading right here is this swing screen, okay, and we're reading backside, inside linebacker. All right, he chases out, so we're going to come off of that. Okay, now we're running the tunnel screen to the boundary. We're setting the rock motion to the field with what we call a key 4. That's our bubble screen. Again, we're reading the Mike. Okay, in this case, Mike's creeping like he wants to come. He gets out late. So in this case, our quarterback feels pretty good about it. This is a good job by receivers. We always teach these guys that we block most dangerous man. So we want to come off jab, 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 and identify the most dangerous man. So even though this Mike is our read guy, when he reacts late, he's the most dangerous guy for our number 3. So he peels up and blocks him. And I'd rather block a 2nd level defender than a 3rd level defender. We can get a nice chunk right there. So quarterback's reading the Mike. He feels like the Mike's not leaving. The rock and roll motion is really good because it forces this movement. So we call that our motion indicators. We try to use motion indicators to help our quarterbacks on their reads, to help speed up their reads. So in this case, motion indicator with the rock motion. Backer's not out right now. Catch it, throw it. All right, put it on his upfield number and block the most dangerous man. So really good look right there. And then on the top of the screen, you can see we're throwing tunnel screen. All right, good job by our tackle. We want to influence that guy upfield. He's kind of hesitating, so we want to throw him upfield. He's got man over 1. And we're probably right either way. If we throw this one, we're probably gonna have a big play. But we always want to take that bubble screen. It's an easy throw, high percentage, force the defense to defend that. Another question here in the chat. Does your QB have a pre-snap read as well? So again, with that, he does in the sense where we're always looking for numbers, grass, or leverage. So when we look at this bubble screen right here, if he feels like right now this is numbers, grass, and leverage, right? We have a ton of grass. All right, we've got leverage on the most dangerous man right here, who's the Mike. They're playing this kind of double cloud look right here on 1st and 10. So this is a pretty good pre-snap alert for our quarterback to know, unless this Mike just hauls ass out of here, we could probably still throw it if he does. But pre-snap, he's feeling pretty good about the bubble screen to the field. So yeah, that's a great question. So this would be a pre-snap alert. Anytime we throw a key screen in our offense, which is like this bubble screen or the smoke screen to the number 1, we call those key 1s or key 2s or key 3s. We're always checking numbers, grass, leverage. If we have any of those 3 things that we feel really good about, throw it. So coach that asked that question, that's probably why he decided to throw that pre-snap. He probably didn't even spend too much time reading the Mike there. Okay, same thing. Now this one, for the life of me, I can't tell you why we didn't throw this other than he might see that crash blitz coming and feel like I've got a nice window to throw the screen. But when we go roll motion right here, this Mike doesn't react. All right, I still feel good about our numbers because we're 4 on 3 out here. Okay, so we should have thrown this to the back. Would have been a big chunk play. I think he saw the crash blitz, which is why he wanted to throw this. Tell the tackle, this guy, hey, if the man over 1 blitzes, let him go. There's going to be a new man over 1. Come out flat. That guy's going to present himself. So he gets a little flustered on that crash blitz, thinking, oh, that's my guy. And then he tries to get it right late, and he kind of gets in the way, and this almost turns into a disaster. So just tell your guy, we don't want to block blitzers, and we want them to blitz into this throw. All right, that's an ideal situation. So again, we should have thrown the bubble screen here. We get lucky with that one, and then it turns into a big explosive play because we get just enough of that safety that's rotating over on that crash blitz. Okay, just tell your guy, don't panic, stay flat, block the new man over 1. He's going to show himself. Okay, motion to the field. Again, numbers, grass, leverage is the Mike coming out of the box. All right, we're 3 for 3 out here. We're 3 for 3, and then we're adding 1. The only thing that you need to talk to your quarterbacks about, and this is where the leverage part of numbers, grass, and leverage comes in. If this guy's like hard up in the face, outside leverage, or the corners press inside with inside eyes, if the quarterback doesn't love the leverage that you have, you don't have to throw it. Okay. So you need to feel pretty good about the leverage, or if you got guys that are kicking their ass out there, you're good. Throw it. They can press you all day long if you feel good. But if you don't feel good, if they've got a big physical corner or they've got a roll down nickel safety that's playing outside leverage of the 2 and you don't like the leverage to throw it, tell him that he doesn't have to throw it. Okay. Now, in this case, when they have this extra overhang into the boundary, then we want to be able to block this and throw this because it's hard to throw that tunnel screen into this look. Okay. If they did run something like this, our tackle has to know when the corner bails and the overhang drives the flat, we have to treat him as the man over one. Okay. So we have to block that. So anytime you're getting this 3-4 look where they're only rushing 3 and they're dropping 8, we have to block that overhang, because if we don't, then we don't have anybody to account for him. Okay. So something to talk about with your guys. Obviously, if this overhang, if they're showing like boundary pressure, this is a great call into boundary pressure, because now we can block the man over one, who's the corner, and they don't. Now we have them big time outnumbered over there. Okay. But again, get the ball to your athletes in space, put some hats out in front of them, let them go to work. Okay, same concept here. Now, instead of using a motion, we're starting in a quads diamond formation right here. Okay, same thing, pre-snap. We're reading numbers, grass, or leverage. Does the mic push out far enough to defend that? If he doesn't, catch it, throw it. Okay, we work these key screens all the time. Just, it's like hot potato. Get it in your hands and get it out. And this isn't a very sexy clip for a clinic, but 1st and 10 from the -9, and you can get yourself 6 or 7 yards. You give yourself a chance. So that's what we talk about all day long. If we felt like they walked out more, we could have taken it. This is a good play. You watch the corner here. We get blitz. Watch, this corner's been coached up, and this kid's an All-American type kid. You can see him try to spike over the top of the tackle's face. Don't let him beat you over the top. And so this kid's obviously been coached all week. If they try to run that, you got to get over the top. That's where the ball's coming. In that case, if you're going to set the sidewalk and that guy drives that hard inside, you just got to cover his ass up and run him. All right. And give your guy a chance to make a play off of him. So if he does try to trigger inside like that, just try to cover him up and run him. And you can see it. You can see a better shot here from the end zone where that guy really triggers over the top of the tackle. All right. At that point, we just want to cover him up. Okay. Cover him, run him inside, and we'll be able to try to bend that thing back outside of it. Diamond formation again. I think that last one, we set the diamond a little wide. When the ball's into the boundary, we want to set the diamond on the hash so it's not too far of a throw. All right. Again, we're looking numbers, grass, or leverage. All right. They're pushing this out. All right. We're really should be identifying this mic right here. But I think because they peel, you see the defensive end kind of peel off of this. We don't love that. This is more of what I want from this retreat throw. Okay. Kind of falling away so we don't absorb that hit. All right. Tackle, man over one, guard, log the play side backer. I don't love him running by. Log the play side backer. Let the center run the alley. Okay. Actually, our guard gets hung up, so that's why it looks funky. But again, all right, forcing the defense to walk. All right, quarterback feels like because they peel or because the mic's kind of hanging or dropping that we feel good on the tunnel screen. All right, and that's good. That our X receiver in our offense, we're always gonna we go strong and weak. So our X is always gonna be our weak number one. That's our best guy. So if you like throwing the tunnel screen to your best player, don't overthink it. Let's get it to that guy. That kid's at Oklahoma State now. If there's any Cowboys on the clinic right now. Okay, same thing. Diamond look right here. Setting it on the hash. All right, looking numbers, grass, leverage, and this is just a pre-snap. I just wish our number 3 right here would have done a better job of identifying most dangerous man, because that mic does come out. All right, and so when that mic does fly out, this is a young quarterback right here. So this is later in this game. He's getting some reps. We really should be reading this guy. So when this guy's in full sprint mode like that, we should come off this, drop out, and throw the tunnel. All right. And so young guys making a mistake, but still we teach our number 3, jab, jab, jab. And this is a running back, so he doesn't get as many reps at it. Jab, 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 and identify most dangerous man. This guy is more dangerous than this guy by the time that ball's on him. So let's find it. Let our guy make a guy miss at the 3rd level, not have to make a guy miss at the 2nd level. Okay, I think I saw another question come in. Do we have a hot check if they roll into man press? No, but what we will do is if we get that, if it just gets real hairy, we're going to throw that ball into the ground. But then what we'll come back with, coach, is we'll lock this. So we can fast motion and we can lock this, which turns it into a show my hands and go vertical. Or if we're running the screen to a 2 receiver set, we can show tunnel and we can show push kick and lock it and go vertical. So if they're trying to get real aggressive on that, we'll just tell our quarterback, throw that thing into the ground, and then we'll come back and we'll lock their ass the next time we have a chance to do it. So, but that's up to you depending on how much you trust your quarterback. If you got a really sharp dude and he sees that and you want to check the lock right away, that's what you would do, is just show the tunnel or show that bubble screen, pump it, and then take a shot downfield off that man coverage, because it's hard to defend bubble screen in man. So one of those guys is going to have undisciplined eyes and might chase that thing. And that's the only guy you got to beat. So that's a good question as well. Okay. So let's talk about how we package this with quick game. So that was how we package it with screen game. Along the same lines of reading the mic, we're going to package it with some of our quick game as well. All right. The most basic way to do this, and what we really started exploring last year and this past season was the first year we did it. Unfortunately, we only played 6 games, so I don't have as many cut-ups as I'd like. But mostly we were doing it off our 3-man stick concept. Okay. So reading the mic, if the mic's playing heavy in the box, then we're going to just work the curl flat stick concept off of that curl flat defender. All right. Running the mandatory outside release from our number 1. We're going to sit on the inside hip of the curl flat defender. If he chases out, we'll slide out away from the mic and we'll just work that guy inside out. Okay. If the mic pushes to defend stick, now we're going to come back and throw our tunnel screen. Okay. Same landmarks. Everybody's doing the exact same thing. Now, instead of reading the mic and throwing perimeter bubble screen, we're throwing 3-man stick concept. Okay. This one, we just emptied our running back into a wing set. All right. We're running stick to our Y. He's going to sit on the inside hip of the curl flat defender. We're running that arrow route right now. Mandatory outside release from our 1. We're throwing tunnel screen backside to our number 1. Okay. So we're going to read the mic. They're pushed off. We led America in 2nd down and 3rd down and forever last year. So I think they're playing with depth because of the down and distance, but because of the depth, we're starting on the mic. If they don't defend the stick, we're going to bang the stick right now, catch it and get vertical right away. Okay. So that's all we're looking at right there. I saw a couple questions pop up. Pull them up. Do you get a lot of ineligible downfields on the vertical check? No, because if we check vertical, like on the lock, it's a pass pro. So we're gonna tag a pass pro to it. So we're not releasing downfield on the screen. And then how often do you find yourself calling this per game? Self-scouting tendencies. We probably run some variation of our tunnel, like packaged tunnel screen, jailbreak screen. We'll probably run some variation of that 3 or 4 times a game. And I want to make sure I'm calling it 3 or 4 times a game because we've had so much success with it, especially when you start packaging it. When you can package it with other stuff, you're not locked into always throwing tunnel. It gives you some good looks. Okay. Have you experimented with empty quads, QB draw, tight end screen? Yeah, I mean, we run quads, QB draw. Obviously not with any kind of jailbreak to it because we need those guys blocking for the quarterback draw. I guess you could maybe, if you're really creative, you might try to do some of that stuff. I don't want to get my quarterback's head knocked off. So, but yeah, we get into diamond formation. We run. That's a big play for us is just running QB draw with full field read. We'll have a bubble screen to the quad side or stick concept and a gift route to the backside single receiver. Give him the ability to check vertical or check to a different gift route if we have a good one-on-one matchup. So yeah, the quad stuff's really good, and we really just have like a 4 or 5 play package that we can run out of it with that package jailbreak screen being one of them. Okay. So again, here's that look at just throwing stick with jail. All right. Might be a better look from the end zone. So you can see we're starting on the mic. The mic is playing with big time depth. 2nd and 28. We don't need to get it all back. So if we can get a chunk 8 or 9, we'll take it. Okay. Now in this case, if we were reading the mic the right way, when he opens up over here, I would not have been mad. In fact, I probably would have liked to have us throw the tunnel because if you go back from the sideline and you look at the tunnel, it's hard to see because it's top of the screen. It's not a great action, but that tunnel could have been a big time home run play. Needed a better block on the push kick on the man over 1. Okay. Can't let that guy, we can't whiff like that, but that could have been something there. Same concept here. Now this is against a really good team. And this is another one. Take the stick, the mic's coming, bang the stick right now. All right. So again, I told you, I didn't lie. We led America in bad down and distance. All right. It's 1st and 43, which I don't even know how the hell you do that, but we found a way to do it. And I think I'll attribute that. I'll attribute that not to my inability to discipline my team as a head coach, but I'll blame it on COVID and having no spring ball and no summer workouts and trying to play games and playing on ESPN in our 2nd game against a really good team that was ranked in the top 25 in the country and not knowing how to freaking line up yet. So, but it is what it is. So we're running stick concept to the boundary with arrow. We're running tunnel to the number 2. Tackle's going to block man over 2. They drop out, so they have us outnumbered. This overhang to the field has us outnumbered. Mike's coming, bang the stick right now. Take a chunk. Let's get up out of here. Worst case scenario, get 8 or 9 yards. And let's give us some room to punt the damn ball. Okay. But again, this is where we talk about, you know, high reward, low risk. Even though they have this thing sniffed out and they have an extra defender, if we block it up the right way, we come out flat, you know, unless they really trigger it and we really do a poor job blocking it, I don't think it's gonna end up in anything worse than incompletion or a 2 or 3 yard loss. I saw something pop up here. We got lots of questions, so that means that you guys are engaged. So that's good. Don't. Oh, I got a 5-minute call. I better keep moving. Okay. This one's tagged with our out concept. So top of the screen, we're running out. Okay. And again, we're just trying to, if we have leverage on this one and they don't drive that, we'll throw the out concept. Now, in this case, they do. So we're throwing the tunnel screen to the number 2. This kid right here is an outside linebacker that doesn't play a ton of Y. He gets flustered when the man over him blitzes. He gets flustered and chases him. He shouldn't be worried about that guy. He should be push kicking the man over 2. The tackle should take the man over 3, which is when this guy goes, it's going to end up being this guy, right? But that guy gets flustered. He kind of chases him in, bangs our tackle, but our tackle does a good job of still just coming out flat, knowing that he's got to set the sidewalk. We get that ball back inside, and good things happen when you put athletes out in front or put big bodies out in front of your athletes. Good things happen, okay? Now, number 1 receiver, you've got zone eyes. All right, you're responsible for the man over you, the man over 1. So we need to work this keep block. Go get inside leverage and go keep him outside. Don't jab on him, all right? So he gets himself to where we want to get him, but I don't like the way he gets there. And we got to stay engaged downfield. All right. And then the last thing right here, this is a little bit different. This is our package double screen. So we're running jailbreak in this diagram. We're running jailbreak to the number 2 to the field, okay? From the center over, it's the same. Sidewalk, log, alley, okay? Now we're losing the backside guys. We're going to put them in something different, all right? We're going to throw a flare screen to our running back opposite the tunnel. The X receiver, all right, or the inside most receiver, the closest receiver to the tackle is going to push crack, all right, which ends up becoming that log block, the first backer inside. Our tackle is still going to set the sidewalk, and our guard is going to run the alley. So we get sidewalk, log from a crack, alley, and over here we get sidewalk, log, and alley. Okay, so we're getting the 3 landmarks on both sides. So we call this duo. This is double screen. The read on this one goes to the end man on the line of scrimmage. So 40 front defensive end, 34 overhang backer. All right. If that guy peels or drops in space, we're going to throw the tunnel. If that guy comes and doesn't peel, we're going to flick this ball over the top and we're going to get out there and go. I know I don't have a ton of time, so let me show you a couple clips of this. Okay. So again, we're throwing tunnel to the number 2. All right. We're throwing flare screen to the number 1. I think if I remember, this one is actually just straight up key screen. So again, big bodies out in front of our skill guy. Let me show you a good duo screen right here. Okay. So duo screen right here. We're going to push, crack, the first backer inside. We're going to set the sidewalk on man over 1. If he blitzes, take the new man over 1. All right. And then we're going to run the alley. Okay. From the center. Backside. All right. Backside. We're going to set the sidewalk on the man over 3. Excuse me. Center's not part of that. We're going to guard is going to log. Center is going to alley. Okay. So here you've got log. You've got sidewalk. You've got alley. Okay. Now that crash blitz makes our quarterback come off of it. If he wants to, he could have taken this if he didn't feel like this guy was going to affect that swing. All right. But he feels like that crash is affecting the swing. Come off of it, throw the tunnel. Okay. And you can see us get out there in space. The guard on this one gets upfield too quick instead of getting flat for 5, and he gets out leveraged by this guy. And I think I'm getting ready to get the boot here. So let me show you one more clip. You can see, watch 55 here. Doesn't do a good job of logging that backer. He doesn't come flat. He gets out leverage. That guy beats him over the top. Okay. And then last one, I'm going to let this run. Don't be mad at me. All right. Flare screen. Throw the tunnel. Okay. Getting guys out in front. And then I want to show you one clip of us throwing the ball to the back. So when they don't peel on it, it's coming up. Give me 1 second. Here it is. Oh, not gonna be able to do it. All right, well, I'm getting the boot anyway. So let me look at the chat. I'm sorry I had to go through that last one fast. Why read the in-man line of scrimmage? Because we're not reading the mic. We have somebody to account for him with that log. So we want to read him. He's the only one that can really affect that. So we want to read that peeler. And he said, I said, you're good. I can answer the 2 questions above. O-line drills for success. I'll tell you the best drill for the O-line. What we do is we set up our pop-up bags on the landmarks and we just run to the landmarks. All right. Just get them really comfortable. So we set up the sidewalk, we set up the log, we set up the alley, and we'll set up a rat kill. And we just want to get guys take their first 2 steps, and then we want them running those tracks. And then as we get better, we'll move those landmarks around a little bit, and then we'll progress from there to actually using a scout defense. So I hope that was beneficial. I'm sorry I had to go through the duo screens a little bit fast at the end because there's some good stuff there, but I hope you guys got the gist of how we do those. The key is instead of reading the mic, we're reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. And if he doesn't peel, we'll throw it. If he does peel, then we're going to come back and throw the tunnel. So that's it. I appreciate Hudl for having me on and putting this clinic together. And again, if you guys have any questions, you guys have my contact information, so don't hesitate to reach out to me. Wish you guys all the best this offseason and heading into next fall.